And this doesn't just happen to streamers. I've experienced this multiple times in my normal life before being a streamer, okay? I never even used social media. I didn't even post pictures of myself or anything. There was no parasocial attachment from social media, nothing like that, okay? I've had this happen, I don't even know how many times. In college, there was one dude who came up to me and asked me like where I got my backpack. He went to the same school, I think. Maybe he didn't, I don't even know. He was just some dude who was walking around on campus several times and was in some classes with some people, so I think he was genuinely going to the school. He could have just been walking into classrooms and sitting down, I don't know. But the dude walked up to me one day, started walking next to me while we're outside walking on campus and said like asked where I got my backpack. Gave me no weird vibes or anything. And I was like, I think I got online, I don't remember, something. And he was like, okay. I was just using that as an excuse to talk to you. And I was like, haha, nice try, buddy, is what I said. I said like, nice try, pal, something like that. And I continue walking. I don't even try to get away from the dude because he's not giving any weird vibes. I'm just walking, he's walking. And he's just like, you know, asking a couple questions. He's like, well, what's your name? And I am just like, don't even try, man. Like, I'm answering him with all of that. I'm not being mean to him. I'm just being very matter of fact. And he goes, all right, well, I'll catch you. And I go, all right. And he walks away. A couple days later, same kind of thing happens. I just see him in another spot on campus. He just happens to be in the same spot. Oh, what a coincidence, you know? And he's like, oh, hey, you again. I'm like, haha, so crazy. Immediately, I'm like, this is very normal that when you know, especially he probably lived on campus, but when you live on a campus or you go to school a lot, you do run into people and happen to be the same public areas all the time. That is not normal. I would see the same people all the time. That's fine. But I already rejected, you know, and he comes up and says like, hey, again. So that's where I'm like, at the very best, he's one that's going to keep trying and being annoying, right? And I go, nope. I go, not happening. I'm tired. I'm going to class, you know, and I leave. And he was like, all right, haha. He wasn't like following me like right after or anything like that. Then one day I am walking to take a train, and he happens to be also taking the same train. And immediately I'm like, I don't want this person to know where I'm getting off of the train. I don't even like that this person knows I'm taking the train specifically, right? So I call a friend. I'm like, hey, are you driving anywhere? I call a friend that has a car. And I'm like, you driving anywhere? That friend wasn't driving anywhere. I go, okay. I call another friend who lives on campus. And I'm like, I'm staying over. I immediately just walk away and go to their dorm and stay over. The dude somehow knows where I end up going. I don't know if he followed me directly or if he like looked around later or if he just seemed to know who my friends were or whatever. Somehow the dude is outside of the window. This friend's dorm is up on like the 3rd floor and dude is like out on the street below, and he's just outside of the building, just standing there. We just notice him outside of the window like a couple hours later, just standing there. Dude stood there until the next morning. Dude was just waiting out there. He even like power napped on a bench. He waited outside until the next morning. And we had let RAs know and building people know, hey, this dude's doing this and like we think he's following me, but it's like not enough evidence to know. But pretty sure at this point he is. Like this is the moment where we think it's happening. So they kept note of it and they're like, okay, we know this dude actually does belong on the campus. He is a student. We know, like one of them knew the guy. So at least we had his name and everything, right? The next morning we get up, you know, see that he's out there. And I know someone else who lives on the 1st floor. So I'm like, hey, I'm going out your window. Here's the situation. Here's what's going on. I'm leaving the building through your window. I'm not using any of the exits. And this friend was like, yeah, bet. Absolutely. You know, so I'm all good. I leave out the window. Dude stays standing there. I asked friends who live there to like keep track, see how long, you know, the dude stayed there. Dude stayed there until like 2 p.m. that day and then eventually left to go to a class. So we were like, oh. Then sometime later, the dude, I don't know how he found anything out. I don't know. But sometime later, I see the dude again. And he starts saying something to me and starts saying what neighborhood he lives in and then what street he lives on. And he implies that it is 1 block away from me. 1 block away. It is the next corner over. I have no idea how he found any of this out. I never broadcast my information anywhere. To this day, I don't know. So at that point, I was like, okay, well, here's what's going to happen. I knew some people in law enforcement very closely. So immediately I was like, I'm talking to someone I know. Thank God I know people. I'm talking to somebody I know, like, what do I do about this? And they were like, well, unless he's threatening you, unless he is, you have evidence of him physically following you for sure. Nothing can be done. We can take a report though, but we can't physically do anything to a person simply for like saying stuff, lying that they live near you, something like that. And I was like, honestly, I understand that. No, a lot of people will be like, oh, that's so no, genuinely, if you could do things to people for them being around you and kind of following, then people would be able to do anything to anyone all the time. I understand why they can't do anything, but they can take a report, and they will take a report. That way, should it escalate, they can have record of how many times this person's done it, so they have a lot more evidence to point to when you get to the point of being able to actually do something to this person, right? Yeah, suspicion isn't guilt. Yeah, exactly. So you can file a report, right? And that's free. Yeah, so that's what I did. Yeah, it could go wrong both ways. Exactly. So I understand why, as frustrating as it is. So I was like, okay, I'm reporting it, and I'm going to do that. And I would take pictures all the time of this dude everywhere. And eventually, I guess he just gets desperate. Now, I always had a lot of friends that I would tell everything to when something like this would happen. You know, I would always make sure that people were aware. Great thing, I'm friends with people on the basketball team who are huge and scary. Yay. So I have one of my friends that I'm really close with that's on the basketball team. And I'm like, you know, I don't have any friends to stay at their dorm, whatever. I'm like, yo, I'm going to do the train thing again. If this dude shows up again, it's time. It's time, okay? So I tell this friend, and he's like nearby with a few friends from the team, right? He's just nearby. I'm ready to go on the train. I'm at the station. He spots the dude. I don't even see the dude. The dude is standing really far away. My friend sees the dude and calls, and it's just like, okay, so he's standing like all the way on the left side of the platform. He's behind like, you know, one of those things like you wouldn't see him, but he is there, and he's definitely peeked. Like he's definitely looked. And I was like, okay. And I was like, I'm going to pretend I'm getting on the train, and then I'm just going to walk off of it and see if he gets on, or see if he gets off, like see if he's following right now. And he does. The train pulls up at the station. I walk onto the train like I'm getting on, and then turn around and walk off. He walks onto the train on his side, sees me walk out, he like runs out, you know? So as soon as he runs out, they converge. My friend is just holding the dude. He immediately grabs his hands so the guy can't reach for anything, and is just like, let's check. And one of the other friends pats him down to see if he's got anything on him. They pat him down. He's just got his phone. He's got, you know, his backpack with the school stuff in it. Nothing crazy. And then he's got a ball-peen hammer. A ball-peen hammer. Why? Now, ball-peen hammer with the, you know, it's got the little rounded side on it. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know why he had this. Yeah, maybe to break in through a window, right? Using a normal hammer, not so much, but something that's rounded, you hit on a single point. That's my guess. So they're like, okay, that's odd. They grab his phone and they make him open it and unlock it, and they look through pictures, and he doesn't have a ton, but he has some pictures that be from really far, like very far away, like showing areas that I'm in, stuff like that. Obviously they go through and delete them. One of my friends throws his phone right on the tracks, you know, and it's just like, go get it, haha. And they just throw him into the tracks. Obviously the train is gone, so he's not going to get hit by a train. They're like, go get your phone, pal, you know, so he has to go get it in the rat covered whatever, and then climb out, you know, and they say some words to him and some warnings not to do anything, and we leave it at that. So, you know, then I go on with my life for a bit. Nothing happens for like 6 months. Don't see this guy. He exists on campus because he is genuinely a student, but I don't see this guy. And then like 6 months later, yeah, they did take the pictures of the photos on his phone. They took a video of themselves scrolling through for evidence for me. Yeah. 6 months later, dude does the thing again where he just is like trying to follow me onto the train. I guess he thought enough time passed that he could be slick. I immediately go do the thing where I stay at my friend's dorm again. He shows up outside the window again. This time has the ball-peen hammer and hits the window with it. He's gonna try and break into the window, which is crazy because you're at a dorm full of people who are gonna hear this. Like, breaks the window, or tries to, except he a little bit, and he couldn't break it on the first hit. It cracked, but he hits the glass and he kind of like just makes like a dent, like it crashes in a bit but doesn't fully break. Immediately we're like, get him, there he is, you know. So everyone in this building was aware. We told every single person, and we were like, don't tell this guy, nobody go get this guy. We can't just beat him up for existing. That's assault. But we can do something in retaliation if we need to defend ourselves, right? So everyone in the building was aware, right? So the guy hits the window. Immediately, there are like 5 people at my friend's door. Like, they're like, is it him? They were so excited. They were so excited. I swear at least 30 people run out of the building and dogpile the guy. Holy they're like all holding him down. He's got like two people holding down each arm, each leg, you know, like some people definitely get into some hits. And I'm like, all right, we got it. He's held down. He's not a threat. You know, it's okay. And they call the police and they get him. And then I never saw him again. But oh my God, it was genuinely so funny. But I truly believe like that only worked out because it was at a dorm. Right? With like the floors full of girls all super ready, the floors full of guys all super ready because we just told everyone, you know, if that wasn't at a dorm, like that might not have worked out like that, right? It was only because he made the worst call, which is I'm gonna try and break into a dorm window. Like, you know, a lot of those people weren't even my friends. I just I'm a social person. I just let everyone on in the building really know. I literally slipped a note under every single door with a picture. Yo, this is the situation. Here's a picture of the guy. Don't tell anyone. But if you've seen this, if you see this person, like text this number. We're keeping track. You know, like we did that to prep for it because I was like, there's no way he's not going to keep trying. You know, there's no way. But yeah, he made the terrible decision of doing that shit at a dorm. The thing is, he had pictures of me walking around other places. Like he probably had other opportunities to do something and just didn't. Thank God I was just in a really dense place all the time. So, you know, there were just always people around. And that's the good thing about a city, at least, is that there are always people around, you know? But that was like one situation in particular. I've also had so many scenarios that did not work out as well. I've never had anything end up truly happening, but the amount of times people have tried has been very high. I have had someone at an event I was at try to climb up to a hotel room window. I was staying at a hotel that had balconies, small balconies. I have had someone follow me and friends back to a hotel during an event and climb up outside to like a fourth floor balcony to try and see if the sliding door would open, which we kept locked. Yay. This one was a friend, not me. Some dude straight up just like attacked her in an elevator, like what didn't assault like beating her up, but just like grabbed her arms so that she couldn't like, you know, resist very much, grabbed her arms in an elevator and hit like his floor number again at an event and was trying to like drag her through the hall during like you know, like, oh, she's on floor 8, I'm on floor 4, so if I hit mine, we'll go to my floor first and then I'll just drag her out. Like what? What? Only it turned out fine because there were other people in the hallway when he exited with her onto his floor. So many scenarios and situations like this. It's just really normal, and it shouldn't be, but it's really normal that it's common that a lot of women will experience something like this at some point. Whether it happens directly to them or it happens to a friend and they're there, you know, to witness it, or they hear someone around them having this thing happen. But it just like it's really common, unfortunately, and it just sucks, man. It sucks. And you know, you hope things will turn out okay, and you can try to be as preventative as you want, but like I said, if someone wants to do something, they can usually just make something happen, right? You can have as much security as you want, and people will be like, oh, if someone wants to show up with a gun and do something, it's because something America. If someone wants to do something bad, they are capable of getting something that can harm you anywhere. It's not have to be a gun, it could be something else, but they're capable of getting something that can harm you, often from a distance, literally anywhere. It's always possible. So if someone really wants to do a thing, they can. So, you know, very tired of the people that will be like, oh, they should have had a security guard, or another scenario, oh, we should have this home security system, blah, blah, blah. Brother, if I really want to, I could just set someone's house on fire and get them to run out of their house and then beat them up. You know, like if you're that level of crazy, you know, like you'll always be able to do something. Right? And people try to point fingers at so many things that could happen in a specific scenario, but like there's no perfect situation here, right?